Welcome back to another video. So we've been getting a lot of questions regarding student loans. Is the White House going to forgive up to $10,000 in student loans? Are we going to see Congress pass some form of legislation to either pause the current payments that will be coming due on February 1st? Will we see interest payments paused? Those are the questions we've been getting. So I want to address what is actually happening, what was said today that is going to bring this kind of full circle. So first, I want to show you this. First off, where are we getting those reports that the Biden administration was going to forgive up to $10,000 in student loans? Well, it comes from this. When President Biden was first campaigning to become president, well, on his website, it said that he is specifically going to try to eliminate up to $10,000 in student debt. Here on March 22nd, 2020, okay, he says, no bill should pass without immediate relief. Okay, right here. Immediate general relief for workers who are losing jobs and hours, small businesses losing revenue, and communities facing emergency needs. And he goes on to say, additionally, we should forgive a minimum of $10,000 a person of federal student loans, as proposed by Senator Warren and colleagues. This is Senator Elizabeth Warren. Now, the reason why I want to bring this up, this was March 22nd, 2020. It's been over a year. Lawmakers are still trying to figure this out. Well, here's what was said today. When a reporter asked White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki about actually forgiving up to $10,000 in student loans, here's what happened. She says, what is the message to those people who feel that he is yet to follow through on that promise? Well, here's what Jen Psaki had to say. She said, if Congress sends him a bill, he's happy to sign it. They haven't sent him a bill yet. Here's the reason why this is so disappointing. President Biden is pretty much putting this off on Congress, and Congress has already told President Biden that they can't do this. It's too much of a divisive issue within Congress. With a 50-50 Senate, there is no way they can get this done. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, he has said this for a while, that there is no way a divided 50-50 Senate can get this bill passed. It's not going to happen. Yet, that's exactly what President Biden is trying to get Congress to do, is try to take this up on everything else Congress has going on, in the Senate specifically. There's no way they're going to get this done. So pretty much what's happening is the White House is just sending this back to Congress and saying, you guys deal with it, when they know full well it will not happen. But let's address what Senator Elizabeth Warren had to say as well. She said, canceling $50,000 in student debt would completely wipe out student loans for 84% of borrowers, including more than 3 million borrowers who have been repaying their loans for more than 20 years. That is huge. She goes on to say, this is the single most effective executive action President Biden could take to jumpstart our economy and begin to narrow the racial wealth gap. Now, let's address this, okay? Let's address a few different things. First off, if you eliminate loans from 84% of borrowers, this now allows them to go and take that money that they were initially paying and go and put that into an auto loan, a home loan, rents, back into the economy in other ways outside of just education. But she goes on to say, this is the single most effective executive action President Biden could take to jumpstart our economy. Honestly, we don't need to be jump-started. We just need to continue riding this wave of a rebound and narrow the racial wealth gap. I think that right there is huge. Here's the reason why. Right now, many low-income earners, low-income households are being negatively impacted because of not having enough money, and with inflation at 6.8%. Well, here's the issue. What happens when these lower income and middle income households now have to go and pay back this loan that's going to be coming up on February 1st? So like a month and a half? What happens then? Well, what's going to happen is these people are actually going to have less money to actually contribute to our economic recovery, to actually buy things, especially in times of high inflation. Now, here's something else White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki had to say. She goes on to say today, we're still assessing the impact of the Omicron variant, but a smooth transition back into repayment is a high priority for the administration. Now, what I want to explain, she says, in the coming weeks, we will release more details about our plan and will engage directly with student loan borrowers to ensure that they have the resources they need and are in the appropriate repayment plan. Now, let's break that down again. What I want to say, first, in the coming weeks. So most likely before January 1st is my expectation. But here's the reason why this is so important. Because they're going to wait until a month out to give borrowers more information about how they are going to repay their student loans. That's good. Here's the other problem. This was just one promise. This was one promise. President Biden has made multiple different promises. We know many lawmakers have made multiple promises as well. This is just another issue that we are going to face, is that even though some lawmakers have been fighting to see additional relief to the American people, and I said this earlier today, we're going to see, according to reports, what lawmakers are trying to do is try to provide at least $2,000 per month in relief. And it's not going to be through one of those stimulus checks. That's not what's going to happen. Where we're going to see relief is through student loans, maybe a payment pause, maybe some form of forgiveness of up to $10,000 or $50,000. We don't know. It's also going to include the child tax credit payments. It's most likely going to include child care as well, maybe something for employment. So this is where we're starting to see this so-called stimulus, is because lawmakers are trying to provide additional forms of relief and assistance. But the one problem and the struggle that we're having right now is, yes, we have a little ways to go, but the problem is there's this big bill, this Build Back Better Act that lawmakers are trying to push through at the last second. But the problem with this is they're trying to push a bill through that many people just don't want. So here's what I can tell you right now. Are we going to see student loan forgiveness? If it has to go through Congress, no, there's no way. Are we going to see a payment pause extended by the Education Department? According to the Education Secretary Miguel Cardona, he says no. This was the final extension. There will be no additional payment pause extended into 2022. After it expires on January 31st, that is it. However, multiple senators have brought this to President Biden's attention that we do not have to cancel the payments. But why don't we just simply forgive interest? Cancel interest payments for an additional 3 months, 6 months, maybe even a year. Is that possible? Well, according to reports, yes, it is possible. But right now, our lawmakers are going to push hard enough when it's coming into their holiday season. They should already be on recess, right? They should have been on recess on December 10th. However, ultimately things change. So, do I think we are going to see some form of an interest payment pause? It's quite possible. That, in my opinion, according to all the research that I have done, all the interviews I have watched, my expectation is that would be the most likely situation, is see a student loan payment interest pause. Not a payment pause, just interest alone. So, as soon as we get more information on this, I promise I will bring you this news as soon as we get it. What I can tell you is it's taking this long just to get an answer from Press Secretary Jen Psaki. So my guess is we're not going to have any more answers until possibly January, unless something major happens this month. But that is what we know at this time. As always, as I know more, I promise I'll come back on and share all the latest news and updates. Again, if you have any questions, please ask your questions down in the comment section below. Just want to thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed these videos, do me a favor, go ahead, hit that like button, consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one. welcome back to another video. So we've been getting a lot of questions regarding student loans. Is the White House going to forgive up to $10,000 in student loans? Are we going to see Congress pass some form of legislation to either pause the current payments that will be coming due on February 1st? Will we see interest payments paused? Those are the questions we've been getting. So I want to address what is actually happening, what was said today that is going to bring this kind of full circle. So first, I want to show you this. First off, where are we getting those reports that the Biden administration was going to forgive up to $10,000 in student loans? Well, it comes from this. When President Biden was first campaigning to become president, well, on his website, it said that he is specifically going to try to eliminate up to $10,000 in student debt. Here